Has your direction in love ever been lacking? Maybe you have experienced heartache, confusion, or even the conviction that no matter what you do, love simply doesn't seem to be working in your favor. If you have ever wondered, why does love feel so complicated? Then this video is exactly for you. Today we will delve into 70 lessons on love and relationships. Knowledge you will always carry with you, always once acquired. Apart from better knowledge of love, they will help you grow personally and establish deeper, better relationships. Before delving straight into these lessons, first subscribe to this channel, hit the like button, and turn on the alerts. You won't want to miss these perceptive concepts. And by seeing this movie through to the very end, you could just find the secret that will permanently change your love life. Though everyone wants love, it could also be among the most difficult emotions we must balance. These 70 life lessons could assist you in a relationship right now, through breakup healing, or just preparing ready for the ideal person to be with you. These lessons transcend simple direction you learn once and ignore. When properly understood, these concepts will improve your life and relationships in ways you could not possibly imagine of now. Every point will feel like it's meant especially for you since, let's be honest, love is personal and you will see your love life from a whole different perspective. It talks to us in very emotional language. Let us thus start immediately with the very first life lesson. Lesson 1. Understanding the power of self-love. Tell me, the last time you truly appreciated yourself? Not only the outer, I like how I look today, but truly, highly cherished person you are. For many of us, the hardest thing in a relationship is self-love. Though in reality, the foundation of any strong relationship comes from inside, we feel we have to give all of our attention to loving someone else. Think about this. How can we really love someone else if we do not love ourselves first? How could someone value us if we cannot see our own value? This transcends some cliched or feel-good idea. That is an inevitable truth, at least. Every relationship is built on self-love as its foundation. Without it, we find we start looking to others for approval. Though our partners enable us to repair the gaps in our self-esteem, the reality is that nobody can achieve this totally. Let us stop now to think back on a time when you were in love. Do you remember that sensation? The flutter in your chest, the excitement of being with that someone? Ask yourself now, were you secure in yourself at that time, or were you reliant on them to make you whole? Most of us have been there, at least once, where we lose ourselves in love. We forget to look after ourselves while so focused on the other person. Actually, though, if you are to truly relate to another person, you have to be whole on your own. Love of self drives something amazing. You stop trying to find validation from other people. Rather, you draw individuals who value you, respect you, and find your confidence alluring. You define how others should treat you since initially you are treating yourself with love and respect. Let me ask you something personal now. Have you ever looked for love because you felt inadequate? Maybe you used to think that dating would make you happy or solve your problems. Possibly you reasoned, if only I had someone who loved me, then everything would be better. You are not alone if you have ever felt that way. Many of us so look for love to fill in our lives. Love really is not about covering gaps. It's about presenting someone else, your whole self, and working on something beautiful alongside. Give some thought to this. If you are in a relationship right now, how much of your happiness comes from inside? How much are you hoping for from your mate? If you are single, ask yourself, am I ready to love someone entirely, or am I still waiting for love to cover a part of me that feels inadequate? Though challenging, these are absolutely important problems. The moment you start to love yourself totally is the one when your relationships start to satisfy you more. Lesson 2, while listening is important, communication is actually rather crucial. Everyone knows that effective communication is largely responsible for a good connection. The irony is that, not speaking, listening is really the most important part of communication. I also mean not only paying attention to what another person is saying, I mean truly focused, sensitive, and present. Let's explore further. Have you ever argued with your partner, where both of you were only waiting for your turn to talk? You were more focused in expressing your point of view than you were actually paying attention to what they were saying. Imagine now how powerful it would be if you truly paid attention to their feelings, anxieties, and concerns instead of just talking. Should you do this, how much strife could you avoid? Your relationship might be the depthier one could find. Try this the next time you are speaking with your partner. Instead of thinking ahead, entirely focus on them. Give them your whole focused attention. Listen as much with your heart as with your ears. Though small, it will transform your connection in ways you never would have thought possible. Have you ever had a conversation when you felt exactly heard? Actually, that is a truly amazing feeling. Ask yourself right now, does your partner experience that same feeling? Do you pay whole attention, or are you distracted thinking about what to say next while they speak? One present that will strengthen your connection in ways words cannot do is giving someone you love listening. Think of a time when you wanted someone to just pay you some attention. See how your connection transforms if you be that person for your friend. Lesson 3. Learn to forgive truly, fully. Though it's tough, if any relationship is to grow, it needs forgiveness. Keeping grudges, past hurts, or mistakes just makes you miserable. It is like hauling emotional baggage that gets more weighty across time. Never been able to let go of anything your boyfriend did? Maybe it was something small, missing an anniversary, or something more important, a breach of confidence. Whatever it was, give some thought to how much my capacity to love them totally has hurt. Ignoring is not what forgiveness is all about. You are choosing to walk forward free from previous influence over your present. Let go, heal, and maintain growing. A connection depending on love and understanding on deliberate decision. Lesson 4. Patience is the key to long-lasting love. You have always been annoyed since your relationship is not moving as fast as you would have desired. Maybe you assumed everything would fall together, only to discover that love takes time just as everything else worthwhile does. The secret is tenacity, friend. Let me say this. Imagine a period when you were working on something important, a project at your workplace, a hobby, maybe a connection. Did that happen all overnight? Generally not. It took time as well. Not sure exactly what separates partnerships. Things proceed without a hitch sometimes, and other times problems arise. Still, in hard conditions, patience is quite vital. Let us pause now to think about your romantic life. Remember instances when you hoped things would improve overnight? Maybe you were waiting for your lover to be more affectionate. Or maybe you thought your relationship wasn't developing quickly enough. Think on your former emotions. Did impatience make things better or increase tension? Love advances at the speed of life. One cannot speed it. If you are patient and provide your partner the time and environment they need to grow, your love will develop in ways you never would have guessed. Ask yourself then, are you patiently in your relationship? Have you left time for love to blossom, or are you running things? This course offers learning to trust the process of love and go of the craving for control. Love does not follow straightforward completion. It is about designing something with lifespan in mind. And as any great construction would, the foundation takes time to set. Should you hurry it, the cracks will show. Conversely, if you let love grow at its own pace, you will find that what you produce together is beautiful, strong, and indisputable. Now pay close attention to breathing. Take your time. Remember that, like life, love is a voyage instead of a sprint. Looking back years from now will also reveal that the events you were waiting for were the ones that truly distinguished your partnership. Lesson 5. Never stop learning about your partner. Think on your first falling in love experience. Everything was interesting, fresh, and surprising. You were anxious to learn more about your partner, their favorite food, aspirations, fears, but over time we could lose our fascination. Many relationships start to fade when we assume we know all our partner needs. People are indeed always evolving, though. Not necessarily who your partner was when you first met these days. And that is evidence of development, not a bad thing at all. Like your partner has changed. Then do you still find them interesting? Imagine opening a book and finding daily added chapters. Would you stop reading in the first couple chapters? No, you would like to know what follows. That book is your husband. Their story is still being written, hence. If you stop paying attention, you will miss some of the most important and beautiful features of their road. Spend some time then thinking about your connection. Last time you asked your lover about their dreams, their current concerns. If it has been some time, it is time to reconnect. Your learning could surprise you. Love is great since it is continually evolving. If you're still intrigued, there is always fresh terrain to investigate. Furthermore, constant learning about your friend will help you to maintain a dynamic, engaging, and fresh friendship. Let the flame extinguish not out of belief you already know everything. Always there is more to learn, explore, and enjoy to discover. Thus, ask yourself how really informed about your relationship nowadays. And are you prepared to keep learning, to be curious, and to embrace the new directions their life takes? When you do, love will become an adventure. Trip where every day presents something new and beautiful. Lesson 6. Necessary, not bad thing regarding space. Even if sometimes you feel you need some space, are you ever ashamed to ask for it? Maybe you think that having space shows something is wrong in your relationship, or maybe you worry it will drive your sweetheart away. The truth is, though, space is not bad. Actually, a good and lively relationship depends on it. Think of it as though two trees were side by side. Should they be grown too closely, their roots will entwine and neither will be able to blossom totally. If they have enough area, though, both trees can grow tall and strong with space to disperse their limbs and roots. The same is true of relationships. Giving each other space does not mean any less love between you. It shows that you respect your differences and understand that both of you need time to grow personally and find freshness. Giving your partner space helps them to be the best versions of themselves. And when they return to you, they will have even more love to share. Let us now review your partnership. Has there ever been a time when you felt suffocated, as though the relationship were personally losing you? Alternatively, maybe your girlfriend has said she wants distance, and you were not sure how to react. Given space is involved, one gets worried instinctively. See it as an opportunity, though, not a threat. Giving each other room helps your relationship to breathe. You are finding a reasonable balance between togetherness and originality. And when you get back together after time away, your bond will be far closer. Think about how much space you are letting your spouse grow. And are you letting yourself be the special person you are? Space is not its adversary. It is what allows love to blossom more deeply and more satisfactorily. Accepting it will enable you to find that your partnership gets somewhat more connected than less. Lesson 7. Don't keep score. Love is not a competition. Still find yourself questioning, I did this for them, so they should do something for me? Maybe you have mentally tallied who has been more involved in the relationship. Or maybe you have felt as though you are the only one trying consistently. One finds oneself ensnared in the trap of keeping score rather readily. Love is not a contest, really though. Beginning to track points, you shift the focus from love to justice. It moves from being about giving to being about what you are getting in return. Moreover, such kind of thinking might cause bitterness in your marriage, alienation, and conflict. Let us stop to contemplate your love story. Have you ever felt as though you are giving more than you are getting? On the other hand, maybe you expected anything in return for the things you have done for your friend. Though love does not operate in such manner, justice is what one instinctively yearns for. Love is about simply giving without thinking about anything in return. When you stop marking scores, you create a space where love can blossom naturally. You give because you want to, not because you're trying to win or balance the scales. And when both sides approach the relationship with this kind of mindset, the love you produce is pure, strong, and everlasting. So ask yourself whether your partnership is performing. Do your measures of your given against your received match? In that situation, it's time to publish the scoreboard. Instead, stress the joy of openly sharing love free from demands. When you do, your relationship will seem to develop in terms of loving, connected, and fulfilling nature. Love goes beyond performance capacity. It's about supporting one another, uplifting one another, and producing something beautiful right here. Stopping keeping score, that is. When the magic really happens, you will find that love flows more easily. Lesson 8. Communication is the heartbeat of every relationship. How recently did you have a real conversation with your partner? Think back to those moments when you sat together, discussed dreams, concerns, and ideas. Compare it now with times when you felt cut off or distant. What distinguishes them? Most always, one basic element determines everything: communication. For your marriage, communication is like your pulse. Everything falls apart without it. You might have experienced times when misreading irritates, or maybe causes confrontation. Often the occurrences follow from closed communication. Though the truth is your partner cannot read your mind, it is easy to pretend they comprehend what you are thinking or feeling. Let us pause now to think about your own romantic life. Has you ever turned off your feelings thinking it will help your suffering partner? Maybe you bottled your resentment and only had it explode in an argument later. Though not unusual, it is not required. Instead, think about arranging a time whereby you and your spouse are free to express your feelings. Comment even on the difficult ones. Find out from your partner how particular occurrences are seen. Talk to them about your relationship, goals, and objectives in great detail. Have you lately asked your boyfriend about their dreams? Ultimately, presented yours in a style that inspired them? Closer relationship results from open conversation. You will come to know each other as well as yourself. Communication helps one to develop intimacy. Trust is born. Remember the early years of your marriage when everything looked fresh and exciting? You most likely spoke for hours debating everything. Reawaken your natural openness for conversation. Form a habit out of it. Just as you would on a date, schedule time for conversation. Ask yourself, how could you improve your interactions with your partner? What small changes might now assist to ensure that lines of contact stay open? Giving this top priority will enable you to find that your relationship becomes increasingly dynamic and rewarding. Therefore, keep in mind that connecting and listening characterize communication more than mere speaking. It's about showing your friend value and attention. Learning this art will enable you to find that your love story becomes ever more beautiful, richer, and deeper. Lesson 9. Courtesy and appreciations count a lot. Remember the first time your guy done anything very noteworthy for you? Maybe it was just a simple gesture text to say, "I'm thinking of you," or a surprise dinner. How did it make you feel? That link and kindness have really strong power. But one finds it more difficult to forget those incidents with time. Here, thankfulness and compassion become really important. Every connection is based on a foundation set on compassion. Think back on a time when you felt underappreciated or ignored. Your day may have been really demanding. If your partner had not seen the effort you were putting in, those days could create a gulf between unhappy couples that leads to separation. The nice news is you can change it though. Usually found in the little things, kindness requires not grand actions. Spend some time valuing the effort of your partner. Maybe they made your chosen supper or just listened to you complain about your day. Celebrate those moments. Reflect on your own relationship. Thanks. Last time you actually showed your partner? Tell them then just how much their assistance counts to you. If it has been some time, it is time to reconnect with compassion. Create the habit of appreciating others for even the smallest acts. You can also dot compassion all over your daily life. Leave little messages, text gently, or plan a surprise trip. These kind of acts deepen your relationship and create a peaceful atmosphere in your marriage. Think about how empathy alters your interactions with others during your daily activities. It fosters love and respect, so helping both partners to feel valued. Consider, how might your relationship be more sensitive? Remember that love is a two-way road. The relationship blossoms when both partners value each other. Being polite and grateful will enable you to build a strong foundation, able to withstand any storm. Your love story will be among delight, connection, and unwavering support. Lesson 10. Forgiveness is freedom. Have you ever carried a grudge and discovered yourself mentally rerunning old mistakes? Think about those emotions. It can be hefty, much as carrying an apparently non-liftable weight. The truth is, though, sticking to grudges just wrecks your love life. Where actual freedom rests is in forgiving. Let us look at your own experiences. Remember times when your partner mistreated you. Perhaps they missed a critical date, or maybe they neglected to assist you when most needed. Those moments might be difficult, so it is normal to be hurt. What then comes of not letting go? You keep returning over that sorrow, and it begins to color your perspective of your relationship and partner, choosing to release the hurt for your own. Peace of mind marks forgiveness from rationalizing someone's actions. You give yourself this present. See that weight released as a kind of emancipation. When you forgive, you allow love to bloom once more. Consider your capacity for expression of your emotions. Saying how someone's behavior hurt you opens the road for recovery. Seeing your point of view and acting to aid your spouse will help them as well. And let it go once you've had that conversation. Go back over your love story. Are any of your unresolved issues still hanging about? What would forgiveness and forward movement look like? This seminar teaches valuing the freedom forgiveness grants. Think about, how could you approach forgiveness in your marriage? It could start with awareness of your feelings and then choose to let them pass. Regular forgiveness in your love life will enable you to find that your connection lightens and turns happy rather than resentful. Remember then, that forgiveness is a decision taken constantly rather than a one-time act. It's about letting love guide you rather than past hurts. Choosing forgiveness enables you cross through to more powerful love and connection. Eventually, too, every love story is worthy of that. Conclusion. We have hardly discussed the 70 courses designed to permanently transform your love life. But let me say, if you take one item out of this film, love starts within. Love yourself. Pay attention to others. Learn to forgive. Your relationships will flourish in ways you never would have guessed. Recall, these lessons are applicable not only in romantic relationships. They are related to every link in your life. Friends, families, even your relationship with yourself. If you felt this video had worth, keep in mind to subscribe and use the like button. Watch the whole video, since these concepts can revolutionize your love life in ways you cannot now see. Said otherwise, thank you for viewing. Until next time.